What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today when I talk about Foremost Lithium, I want to go over what this company is all about, some of the current data points, and based on my last discussion with the CEO, Jason, through an interview, I want to go over some of the key highlights that investors need to know about. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So based on Friday, it did go up 11.11%. So even though the broader market is pulling back due to many different fears, Foremost is definitely going against the grain. So over the last several days, 5 days in fact, Foremost is up 23.93%, whereas even looking at the S&P, it is only up 1.58%. So Foremost is doing something very, very good. And based on my interview with him, which I did post, I think it was around a week ago, there's a lot of big things, operational updates that he did say in that. So I highly suggest in listening to that. But aside from that, if you are curious on what they do, you can kind of see right here. So this is kind of their profile. So they are a lithium exploration company, hard rock to be specific. You can always pause this and read through it all. They are based out of Vancouver, Canada. So that's going to come into play in a second once I talk on potentially what might be coming for this company. And aside from that, though, there is a lot of good news that's been coming out even more recently on the 10th, where Foremost Lithium receives multi-year work permit to commence drilling on his Gene Lake lithium/gold property. And Jason did actually bring this up in the most recent interview because he said that there's a lot of good things going to be coming from this in the next several quarters. So once again, I feel like this company definitely is undervalued, especially if you look at the latest Morningstar report, which does show the fair market value for Foremost being $4.82. So once again, kind of at a pretty substantial discount. Couple of things to note though, based on their last earnings, they do have about 2.38 million in cash equivalent short-term investments, 1.25 million in debt, and they're burning through about 3.32 million from operations. A lot has changed. I do believe they did an offering since this or their most recent earnings, so there might be some changes to this. But like I said, with them being a Canadian company, they do qualify for this. So critical mining, processing, manufacture, recycling to be focus of 1.5 billion in federal innovation funding. So this came out ultimately in July, but this company does qualify for this, and probably if they did put in an application, should be hearing sooner rather than later. I did do a little bit more of a deeper dive, and most companies do receive probably anywhere from 20 to 50 million in reality. So not 1.5 billion towards this one company, right? But still, even if you add 20 billion to the market cap or the balance sheet, I guess essentially, that's good and would really help the stock price go up dramatically. And especially for those of you that haven't really invested in smaller market cap companies, because right now the market cap for this company is 14.1 million. So essentially, when there's a good piece of news that does come out, this goes up very, very fast, as what you can kind of see right here over the last several times. So once again, Foremost definitely does have a lot of good opportunity coming for it in the foreseeable future. And even if you look at the price of lithium, it is crazy cheap, similar to even 2021 levels. But even though lithium is cheap, there still is a huge demand for it because EVs, which right now I think the overall demand for EVs has gone down over the last little bit. But despite that though, there is still a lot of demand for EVs. A lot of EV companies require lithium for their battery pack production. So I feel like this is a very good thing. And one thing actually I wanted to bring up from the most recent interview is he did say that he has the ability and has been hedging technically based on the lithium prices. So for instance, if it was, let's say, just throwing it out here, somewhere along here, he was able to essentially hedge and place a sell, even though they haven't necessarily mined the actual mineral yet. But what you can do is do a tentative deal. That way you're hedging and locking in prices. That brings in good amount of money immediately and guarantees you a sell. So in other words, obviously not putting in words in his mouth, but that does mean that there won't be any dilution in the foreseeable future because of all these tentative deals. That's why I took away, at least from the interview. I could be wrong. I'm not a financial advisor or anything, but I feel like a lot of companies have just massively diluted investors' value over the last several years. A lot of companies, in fact, have done that. So by Jason, the CEO, saying that he is doing this route to avoid I guess, future dilution and just to bring in cash immediately is absolutely key. So once again, that really stood out to me as from kind of listening to everything. And when it comes down to it, this company isn't heavily shorted. So I just wanted to bring this up, just more of a benchmark. So right now, 0.97% of the free float is being shorted. 42.59 thousand shares overall are being shorted. So once again, I kind of use this as a benchmark in a lot of my videos because it's interesting to see what these individuals are thinking, because obviously by them increasing on a stock, it kind of shows that a stock is overvalued or whatever else, but this isn't even on their radar. So once again, I feel like that does match with this, it being a very big discount play. And there's a lot of good opportunity for it to potentially even go up from here. And before I go into the technicals and whatever else, I just wanted to throw this out there because Jason did also say this in the most recent interview, that technically a smaller market cap company with a lot of good upside, such as Foremost, it might be a potential takeover opportunity. So once again, that could be coming down the pipeline, especially with higher interest rates and a lot of companies trying to get deals out there. One way to do that, especially if a stock is trading at a discount, well, it'll get taken over by a larger company, right? So with it being at that small market cap currently, you never know, that could come, and that would really help any investor getting in currently at these prices. So let me know your thoughts on Foremost so far in the comments below. But as far as if you're looking at trading it, let's talk on some technicals. With it at $2.90, it is between this S1 and the pivot. So 236 is going to be the next strong support, and then 306 is going to be that next strong resistance. Kind of bounced off of that vaguely on Friday, but like I said, there's a lot of good positive momentum behind the scenes with Foremost. So if it does trade and continue to have this momentum, then it'll break past this and probably trade between this pivot and this R1. So 306 would be the support, and then 376 would be the next strong resistance. Looking right here, number of retail investors have been getting in, and this is kind of opposite to a lot of growth stocks that is in the broader market right now. Like any of the stocks that I've really covered under my channel, all retail is getting out. That's not the case with Foremost. Retail is actually getting in. Stochastic, you do see a deviation, so black line above the red, which means a nice bullish sentiment. And with it at 43 currently, it's neutral. So all in all, technicals are looking fairly good. A lot of good operational updates should be coming down the pipeline in the foreseeable future. And with this grant potentially coming maybe in the foreseeable future as well, I feel like that might alleviate a lot of this company's issues. So let me know your thoughts on this company. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing I just wanted to share with you, it has been extended up until January the 15th. Simply sign up for an account with Moonwith, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, I appreciate all of you watching.